Education Secretary Betsy DeVos does not get a kind reception at Bethune-Cookman's graduation. We also had some TV news with ABC officially putting the end to all the scandal from, well, coming soon, we'll say on that end. And Snapchat went public and is not making much money, which was what it was doing before it went public. Those stories and more are what we chatted about yesterday. That happened to be the 10th day of May, so that makes today the Daily Recap Podcast for 11 May 2017. And welcome to the podcast surrounding all the conversations we had yesterday via thisistheconversation.com, the website where we like to think we have the best conversations with the best conversationalists, that being you out there across the internet, on what's the trending topics, the hot topics, sometimes the not so hot topics, sometimes just the interesting and very weird. And we try to steer away from what the big stories are covering all day long, although we do hit those in conversations. We do our best to make sure that everything that's topical, everything that's interesting, anything that might pull your attention can get a chance to get a little life in its thing. Now, if you want to have more talk with us, it's easy. Follow us on Twitter at @th_conversation. Follow us on Facebook. Look for This Is The Conversation. And our main website is, of course, thisistheconversation.com, where you can find plenty of great conversations and other great fun stuff at the website, including a way to get paid for your opinion in your conversations. We offer up some survey services to some people, and they pay us to look for you. We find you, we pay you. So go to thisistheconversation.com/survey panel and make sure you get in so that if you apply, we'll find something that's good for you. If we send you a link to a survey, you're going to get paid once you fill it out. It's that simple. Also wanted to take a quick moment to thank our sponsor for this week. It is YorkPhoto.com. And York Photo is a great place to take care of your photo needs. If you are a person who misses having an actual picture, an actual physical picture in your hands, York Photo can help you out because we take everything on our phones. Some of us do have fancy cameras, and some do screenshots from the web now with all the things we have going on. You can take that image and send it to York Photo. They'll send it back to you in printed images of whatever size you want, even Instagram size pictures, oddly enough. Plus, you can get it put on anything you can think of. They do mugs, they do calendars, they do those blankets. I'm amazed how it's amazing how those blankets just amaze me. But yes, you can put that picture of that beautiful thing on that blanket that you snuggle up on the couch right now by going to thisistheconversation.com/YorkPhoto and see the great deal that we have for you there. Now, great deals on great conversations from yesterday as we continue on from what we do every day. Now, we started off with the first tweet of the day. We'll call it tweet, although it goes over many social media platforms, with the study that suggested the daily dose of cannabis could reverse the effects of old age. Now, that seems like it's one, obvious, and two, if you're smoking weed, maybe you just don't care so much, which is also part of the deal. We also had the fight breaking out on board an airplane in Burbank. It has a rash of airline things yesterday or the day before, with the Qantas Airlines CEO getting hit in the face with a pie and then finding out the aftermath of the big shutdown in Florida that caused the riot there for Spirit Airlines. Another airline had the issue with a fight on a plane making its way into Burbank's airport. We go on to details coming out for the plot line for Season 2 of 13 Reasons Why. And 13 Reasons Why, if you haven't heard, it is a Netflix sensation. It's based off a book. It's about a 15, 20-year-old book, novel, young adult novel, about a girl who commits suicide and then records a tape, or at least a side of a tape, for 13 different people. Actually, it's a spoiler alert. It's 12 different people. One person gets 2 tapes because it works out that way. But it's her journey on how she went from this deep depression from the start, what we call the guy who's the beginning of the end, to the very end, the day she actually committed suicide. The TV show, a Netflix original, it just sort of popped up one day. I literally saw it the weekend it popped up and started watching it and got enthralled into it. A lot for the story. Some of it a bit over dramatic because it was like a teen novel thing. Takes a big departure from the end of the book. The book doesn't give a solid ending. The book ends with the journey continue on the tape still doing their journey, and the main character who's still living in the book realizing that another friend is in need and reaching out to her. That happens in the end of the movie, or the TV show, I should say. but there's an open-ended plot and some things thrown in to make it seem a bit more dramatic to give it away to go into season 2. The main plot details for season 2 will be the extension of the aftermath of some of the people who went through their things. One of the young girl who killed herself, one of her friends in the movie, in the TV show, also went through a similar situation. She also was sexually assaulted. So they're going to deal with that actual sexual assault. They'll also will deal with the guy who assaulted both girls, because in the book it cuts off before the guy even realizes he's a part of the issue. Here, he knows what's going on, or is about to find out when everything kind of falls apart. So there'll be some aftermath there. And of course, while they say the presence of Hannah Baker, the girl the story is behind, will be there. Obviously, she died after recording 13 tapes, so she will not be a part of physical there. There still will be a narration to the series, but she cannot narrate it because she is gone. So we'll see exactly how this works out. A lot of buzz about that. We'll see what's coming up there. Plenty of other Real TV news. Real TV as in TV over the air stuff. We'll get to that in a bit. Now, Atlanta plans to open or reopen their collapsed I-85 interstate by rush hour on this upcoming Monday. I'm not even sure if it's been 6 weeks since the fire on the interstate, which was caused by, at least we're assuming it's allegedly caused by homeless people under the bridge, under the underpass there, under the overpass there. It can't be under the underpass. It was a fire that caught off in the middle of rush hour that caused the road to buckle and a chunk to fall down, and of course they had to take it down to repair it. In 6 weeks, apparently, they've been able to fix this bridge, and come Monday, they're going to ride over it for rush hour. The governor is going to give updates on all the progress, but apparently they're getting that thing back into business, because business is really bad in Atlanta when you don't have a big road, and that's a pretty major stretch of highway to get people around that very congested city. We don't have any real James Comey type messages or conversations today, but we did have President Trump had his planned meeting with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov at the White House yesterday. Now, because of all the leanings towards Russia being in the news, or Trump dealing with Russia in the news, there were no American journalists allowed in that meeting. The photo op was covered by Russian press, and a Russian reporter took the pictures and used it as basically pool coverage. So the reason why we know what happened is because the Russians told us. That is not a joke. That is the truth. Back to the Trump administration. Betsy DeVos is the Secretary of Education, and she went doing some secretarying of education by speaking at a commencement at a historically black college over the weekend. That was Bethune-Cookman in Florida. It did not go very well. She was booed during essentially the whole speech. So bad, at one point, the president of the college had to get up and remind the students that they were students and that their diplomas had not been handed out yet. Yes, it was that bad. ABC officially puts the kibosh on Scandal, although it will get another season. The upcoming season 7 is coming, and then they are done. So all the tie-ups, wrap-ups, craziness that you love about Scandal, if you actually still watch the show, will have some sort of loose ended. Way to end at loose ends. They should be able to tie up any loose ends in the upcoming season 7. That will not happen for various other shows that all got axed yesterday, because a lot of things were on the bubble. The Upfront starting off, and the biggest other one, we don't have a message about it, but the biggest other story that didn't get, because of the show that didn't get renewed, is Sleepy Hollow, which got a surprising 4th season, but the 5th season is not going to come. More TV news actually on the way, so stick around. The U.S. Census Director is about to resign from his post because he's tired. But here's the problem. He really doesn't know what's going to happen for 2020. They're missing manpower. They're missing resources. They're missing money. They don't have, at least the outgoing director doesn't believe they have the resources to make the 2010 census happen for the United States. So he's just kind of doing what the honorable way to kind of get the attention is. What we're not doing these days is just kind of resigning and letting somebody else fill that spot to get the attention. Snapchat's parent company is Snap Incorporated. That was created for an IPO to make money off the social media site and the really weird-looking glasses. Meanwhile, Snap Incorporated posted a $2.2 billion loss in its first quarterly report. It just had its IPO. It just went public, and it just lost $2.2 billion, which goes to show that these things seem like they're a fad and seem like they're pretty popular enough to make a quick bunch of cash. But unlike fads in the past, they're not making any money off the front end, and that becomes the issue. A big issue with Snapchat is the competition. Facebook and Instagram and other Twitter and other things are doing a lot of things that Snapchat is doing. They just may not doing as fun as Snapchat is. Plus, I got on Snapchat a couple weeks ago because for the day job, they want to do some Snapchat promoting in a contest. So I said, sure, let's try it. And I basically gave it up in about 3 days because Snapchat makes no sense to adults. Senator Catherine Cortez Masto, a Democrat, is pressing her other Democratic senators on their poor diversity in hiring for their staff. Now, Senator Cortez Masto is Hispanic. She's Latina, and she is out there basically waving the flag for the fact that the bulk of the staffs of the Senate, basically the bulk of the staff of anybody working in the White House or in Washington, D.C., are youngish white people, which isn't necessarily a bad thing if youngish white people are great at their jobs. But her point is there got to be some people other than youngish white people who can do these jobs just as well, maybe even better if given a chance. So she's pressing her fellow Democrats in the Senate to step up and look for some real diversity in their hiring. A radio station in Arizona was running PSAs late in the middle of the night because you do that to fill gaps in commercials. However, one PSA in particular easily got people up in arms once they figured out what was going on. Now, this PSA was literally giving people information on how to hide evidence for child porn cases. Yes, there was a public service announcement by a group looking to protect people from child porn cases by giving them information on how they could hide their child porn. That PSA has obviously been pulled. And St. Louis is named the best baseball town by a bunch of people who want to kind of basically make an argument. St. Louis, the home of the Cardinals, is a fairly good town and a very good baseball town, but is it the best baseball town? We asked you, were you okay with that? And many people were, oddly enough, okay with that. But that's kind of biased here because I live in Arkansas, and Arkansas essentially owned by St. Louis for a baseball market. That's just how it goes. A lot of people here are longtime Cardinals fans. And the first tweet of today is also a TV tweet where we go to the CW network, who are picking up for the next season Dynasty. Well, not the old Dynasty, because some of those guys are really, really, really dead. But just like they had the Dallas reboot on TNT a few years ago, there'll be a new reboot of Dynasty. Now, here's the weird thing about it. The CW apparently was so in love with this idea that all they heard was Dynasty, and they were all in for it, even before the actual pitch was given. But the pitch was given, and the upfronts has announced that Dynasty will join the lineup for the upcoming season. CW having a lot of great fun with a lot of great, interesting shows, including Riverdale, its take on the Archie show, and of course, all the million vampire shows that are out there. Although, I believe the Vampire Diaries has been officially canceled, with the original still being kind of on the bubble there. But they love the young, pretty-looking people, and Dynasty was a young, well, not so young, but it was pretty-looking people from back in the 80s. And it's more rich, pretty people coming to the CW this upcoming season. Those were the stories we had conversations on yesterday, and we'll have plenty of conversation about the May 11th stories, today's stories, throughout the day on social media and our website. So find us on the social media. Twitter is th_conversation. Facebook, look for This Is The Conversation, and find us at thisisconversation.com online. That is the great website for all the home for great conversations. You can leave us a comment right there on the website, and we can chat with you there just as well as we can on social media. Make sure you stop by the website and sign up for the Conversation Survey panel and get yourself paid for your opinions in surveys. We'll send you a survey. We'll pay you just like that. Go to thisistheconversation.com/survey panel for your application. And also stop by and check out this week's sponsor, which is York Photo, and they'll take care of all your photo needs. Get it off your phone and into something a little more tangible to share, or maybe not so tangible. Put it off your phone and put it onto an online calendar, an online album if you must, to share with folks. You can do that by going to thisistheconversation.com/York Photo for details and a great deal. So more information on other projects I have going on. You can also check out my website, jclevelandpainting.net, once again, thank you for joining us in all the conversations. You are some of the most diverse and the best talkers in the world, because it is worldwide based on the internet. And I'm glad to have a chance to have these conversations on these news stories with you. And tomorrow, more conversations as we do our Friday edition of, which is a wrap up on Thursday's conversations from This Is the Conversation.